This exam pack is the 70-294 exam pack, and we address Active Directory in great detail with this exam pack. One of the first things we'll talk about is just kind of an introduction to Active Directory so that you can know what it is. Is it really just a file, or is it certain other things? Is it scripts? What is Active Directory? We'll talk about that, as well as installing Active Directory itself, which is also known as just running DC Promo. And that's how you make your domain controllers in Active Directory. We'll also take a look at the various functional levels of Windows Server 2003. And at the highest functional levels, which is the Windows Server 2003 functional levels for both the domain and the forest, you get the most features out of Active Directory now. We'll take a look at those, as well as the schema. The schema is kind of the skeleton off of which all of the rest of Active Directory hangs. And it's really the foundation for what we can do within Active Directory and the kind of objects we can create and work with. We'll also take a look at user principal names and trusts. And user principal names are going to give us the ability to identify our users by different logon identities. And trusts are going to give us the ability to do just that, trust other domains. Now, there's also included trusts that are already implicit within a forest. And they're two-way transitive trusts, but we can also explicitly make trusts as necessary as well. We also take a look at the global catalog, which has every object in the entire forest, regardless of the number of domains that you have. And the global catalog can sometimes be kind of sizable, but it doesn't have every attribute of every object. So that helps to trim down the size. But the global catalog must be accessible in one way or another. So we'll take a look at how to make it available, as well as how to cache certain kinds of information so that if your global catalog isn't available, users can still log on. We'll also take a look at flexible single master operation roles, also known as simply operations masters. Now, some of these roles, if you were missing one and one of the servers was down, one of the flexible single master operations servers was down, you might not notice indefinitely. On other ones, you're going to notice pretty quick. So we need to understand what the roles are, what they're used for, and how you can recover them if necessary. And that's going to be pretty critical. We'll also take a look at replication. You need to make sure that one change on a domain controller gets replicated to your other domain controllers in a timely fashion. Because without that convergence between domain controllers, you could be left within an uncertain situation within your Active Directory environment. We'll also take a look at user authentication and what it takes to make a user account secure, as well as security groups and what kind of strategy you want to make. I mean, you have three different kinds: domain, local, global, and universal security groups. Does it matter if you use one or the other? Which one would be the most efficient in a given situation? So we'll take a look at some of those things, as well as organizational unit structure. I mean, you can create as many of these things as you want, but they get to be pretty unmanageable pretty quick if you just kind of do it in a shotgun blast method and just create one anytime one comes to mind. So it's going to be very much more efficient in terms of delegation of administration and group policy objects if you have a good strategy for your organizational units. We'll take you through that as well. Finally, we'll conclude with 3 separate nuggets on group policy objects. And these are perhaps the most powerful part of Active Directory in terms of controlling both the security of your environment for the users and the computers, as well as controlling what the users can and cannot do with their systems and with their desktops. Well, I had a lot of fun making this entire series for the 70-294. I hope that you look at this series and that you're able to learn a lot and that you're able to enjoy yourself. So let's go ahead and get started learning about Active Directory.